Good evening, folks. Welcome to the show. Thank you all for joining us. It's most gratifying to see you all. Good evening, folks. Once again. Welcome to the show. Just want to say I'm completely on my own today because don't want to bother Jason with this because it wasn't probably going to be long enough, but he's heading off on his holidays any day anyway, so I didn't want to bother him. So bear with me because it won't be quite as slick as normal. It won't be quite as easy to follow for me. I'm gonna have a little bit of trouble with the chat because from now on I'm going to struggle to say hello to you. I'll do it verbally rather than type. I see Jeff 72 has just joined us as well as I say that. Anyway, it's fine. Keep chatting until I'll let you know when the auction begins shortly, probably around 8 or just after. But yeah, it's going to be a little bit challenging to do this. Look, there's only one lot, so it shouldn't be too bad. But how are we all? Are we all good? I've chatted to a few of you already, and it sounds like everybody's in very good spirits, it seems. Now, I am actually, we're very honoured tonight because we're joined by, we have a guest who may or may not appear before the camera, just off to my left side. Looks like it's my right when I did that, but it's my left side is my cat, Pee-wee, and she's sitting fast asleep. She's just come in here and thought she's had enough. And she was wandering around and I was saying, oh, this is bad timing. I'm not sure this is the right moment for a guest appearance. Anyway, she's gone to sleep, so probably won't hear too much from her. Anyway, so today's auction basically is give you a quick look at the item. There's only one item today. The item that I forgot the last time. It is this absolutely enormous, so enormous I can't even get in the picture with it. The fantastic Sikorsky Skycrane, basically, the CH-54A, the Tarhe with the M121 bomb, or daisy cutter bomb as it's sometimes called. It is, in fact, it's quite a monster, obviously. It's probably the biggest kit I think that ICM do now, for sure. Stuart Carey's just joined us. Hello, Stuart. Yeah, and the actual bomb itself, I'll just show you the side shots. It really is enormous. So when you look at the bomb itself, the front of the bomb, obviously it doesn't have a tail, it has a parachute system. And the idea is it's a retard parachute system. And what they were doing with these, of course, in Vietnam, the US Army were using them to clear landing zones. So they could, areas where they wanted to get guys in, they drop one, possibly two of these, and clear a huge area that would create an LZ. But the front of it is actually a tall boy bomb, 10,000-pound tall boy bomb from World War II, as carried by the Dambusters Squadron, not on the Dambusters raid later. So the front of it is literally a British design, which is quite interesting. And of course, these evolved into all sorts of later versions of these fairly horrific bombs. It became, so they didn't actually call this one the Daisy Cutter, that they actually developed it into a slightly less aerodynamic one, which was called the Daisy Cutter. And then it later became developed again into the mother of all bombs, which of course got used in places like Afghanistan. I think they used it against bin Laden and places, people like that. So they're quite fearsome weapons, and the idea is it has the proboscis. I should have just explained that last bit. It has the proboscis on the front of the bomb because they don't want it to actually detonate right on the ground. They want it to detonate about 4 or 5 feet above the ground, thereby leveling the foliage in the jungle. And it's an absolutely terrifying weapon, really, it has to be said. And it's probably the biggest chopper of all time as well, of course, the Skycrane. It's a huge kit, so quite worth having. Now, the kit itself is kit number 53055. It retails in the UK currently for about £140. Well, I'm sure it was £150 when it came out, but it seems to be now standard price is £140. Now, we did have, don't know if I got him in the chat yet, but we did have Neen Yumo, Colin. He actually bid us and said, I'll give you £80 for it. So we're going to start at £80 shortly. Oh, there he is. He's just arrived back on time. That's perfect timing, sir. So, yeah, we won't rush this because it's only one item. So I think we should maybe take our time with it and just talk around it a little bit. While people are settling in, there's Hunter Cleveland. Hello there. Who else have we got? Stuart Carey, mentioned him. Or briefly, Nemo. Yeah, Colin. Oh, excellent. So we have got, it's quite an impressive item. For those of you that may have missed my other talk about it, it just got missed. Should have been in the main auction. And it was only when I came to do David Mummery. David Mummery loaned a couple of kits, which I reviewed, you probably saw. So we needed a particularly big box for him. And I went to one of my really huge ICM boxes. And as soon as I opened this box, thinking it was an empty box, it was just sitting there, complete with anti-moisture silica gel packs to protect it and everything. And I just clean forgot about it. Absolutely, totally forgot. And I was like, oh no. So I thought, rather than hide it and bury my patients like a bad surgeon, as I said the other day, I thought we'd just get this out in the open and say, let's try and raise just that last little bit for the charities. So the charities are, by the way, I've been in touch with both the charities now, formally, and they are very pleased to hear from us, I've got to tell you. So I spoke to, we had the guy who was, my brain's just completely gone, actually. He actually emailed me earlier. A gentleman that runs the Ukraine Relief Charity, based in the UK. He's actually based in Bournemouth. And he came straight back to me within a couple of minutes and said, oh, that's fantastic, you know. And these are the guys that do all this aid parcels and medical supplies and generators and water and just general sort of crisis relief equipment for civilians, really, you know. So we've had contact with him, and I'm going to speak to him to arrange the transfer of the money on Wednesday, because I'm busy tomorrow and he's been busy today and he's busy on Wednesday morning. So Wednesday afternoon I'm going to chat and get all that arranged. So there will be one final sort of wind up to this fundraising effort, if you like. We'll have a last short video, and I'll reiterate again. You'll see, if you look in the description for tonight's video, all your names are there, every one of you that's contributed. I did get worried I've missed a couple of people, but I don't think I have. I think it's just that some of you have got screen names that are not the same as your real name. So I in most cases it's your real name, but anyway, we won't go into that. Some people don't want to have that obvious anyway. But anyway, we'll see how we get on. But you're probably wanting to know how much we raised. So I'm going to tell you before we start the auction tonight. We have now got to a grand total of, we actually had a contribution just at 5 o'clock. So the current fund now stands at £2,124.68. So that is really down to the generosity of all of you. And that has literally more than double what I'd hoped for. I was crossing everything thinking, will I be able to manage to get to £1,000? So to get that high, and it looks like we're going to breach 2,200 probably easily, I think. Fingers crossed. I don't know, jinx it, but I think that is incredible, you know. So what's that going to be? That's going to be best part of £1,500 or £1,600 for the main charity, and about £500-600 for the animals. So it's quite a remarkable effort, and I can see lots of you are joining who have, I'm looking in the chat, and it's all you guys that have contributed to that by being so generous, you know. So absolutely incredible. See, Hunter Cleveland's just making a point now. Yeah, we've had a few strange comments, which I won't go into the details of. Jason's had some, I've had some, but this is not a side-taking exercise. This really is based on some of the unpleasant, the plight of some of these people that have been affected by this, and the animals. It's even worse, really, and they don't understand what on earth is going on. It's such a nasty thing. So this money will help them. I mean, that's going to make a big difference to both charities, I'm sure, and I can tell that the reaction I've got from the charities are like, well, where did this come from? And I've tried to explain it to them, you know, that we have these sort of sub-communities, if you like, on YouTube that are supporting various YouTubers do different things from time to time, of course. And this was my turn to step up to the plate. And I have to say, it's quite a big, I need a bigger plate. Yeah. Anyway, I think I've earned a drink. It's no champagne tonight. Mrs. O's there. She's applauding as well. She's applauding you guys. Yeah. Mrs. O also helped contribute with all her packaging, and she put a couple of quid in herself, and I did too. So we've all done it between us, you know. Anyway, she says I can't have champagne tonight. A, because I need to concentrate, and B, because we've got our wedding anniversary coming up, and we're saving the champagne for that. So I'm on I'm on beer. I've got my Airfix glass tonight. I've got some old, well, it's actually not Old Speckled Hen, it's Crafty Hen, the stronger version. So cheers to all of you. Thank you very much for making this such a wonderful success. Truly remarkable. I mean, way, way beyond anything I imagined when I started doing it. I thought I might raise £600. I thought I might just squeeze to 1,000. So for you guys to give and double that is quite remarkable. So thank you all. Cheers. Have a good. Hope you have a drink yourselves. So there we are. Mrs. O is chatting to you all the way. She's chatting away now. She's off because it's our wedding anniversary. We're not going away. We don't want to go away actually, up to Lake District or Scotland or something like that, you know. But we're not going away this time because we've just, as you know, we've had these big bills. Ironic, isn't it? And fundraising, you know. And at the same time, I've had terrible problems with both our cars. We now had the other car go wrong. We had a new air conditioning unit in our Skoda. It cost nearly £900. It actually had another fault as well. So it's 2 faults to fix. Very expensive. So we decided not to go away till later in the year, probably September. And the weather's been so nice. You can sit out in the garden. It's been like being in Spain, really, here the last 10 days. I think it's going to change soon, but there we go. Anyway, I hope you've all enjoyed the great weather as well. Just having a look at the some of the comments. I've still got this really weird thing that you won't fully appreciate that Jason talked about and others have. I'm looking down at the live, what I think anyway is the live, the broadcast from YouTube, and it's delayed, you know. So I'm looking at myself in absolute real time, but there is a definite delay. See, it wants to do a restart. I don't want to do that. Go away. Let's cancel that. Thank you very much. The computer wants to do a restart and an update just at the right moment, you know. But yeah, there's a slight delay, and it's at least 25-30 seconds, I think. So I see and hear myself live, and you see what you think is live, but there is actually this delay. So I've got to be very wary of that now tonight, because so we've only got the one item to bid on, but it's a difficult one. You'll have to bear with me, and I'll probably stretch it out a little bit just to be absolutely sure that I don't want to cut anybody off who makes a last minute bid. So I would urge you perhaps not to do that too late. I'll give you fair warning though. I'll give you fair warning, but I'm just a bit nervous about this delay factor and the fact there's only me doing it today. So that is where we're at. You'll notice I've got Sherlock Holmes over my shoulder there. He's back in his usual place. Jeremy Brett, yeah. And here we got Alex has just joined us from Denmark. Thanks, Alex. Hiya, good to see you. Yeah, John's just saying it's like the forum actions, Flory's forum. He's had the same problem, 3 to 8 seconds. I think this is a bit longer. I think it's at least. I can probably check if I just put my. No, I think maybe you're right, John. Maybe it is about 8 seconds, actually. Yeah, okay. Interesting. I just link my mobile to YouTube and it works. All right, okay. I suppose we're asking a lot of the technology, aren't we, really? Anyway, there we go. Hunter Cleveland said, have you ever thought of reviewing Army Men play sets? Well, I used to have some of those. I don't know about Army Men. Is that a brand? Or maybe I'm missing it. But what I used to do when the Matchbox used to have these play sets, and I used to have those back in the lost mists of time, a long, long time ago, you know. But no, I'm probably going to stick with what I'm doing at the moment. I'm due for. I mentioned we're due for a bit of a break, and we've both got a week off, so we're going to be just taking things a bit easier. So you will see a bit less in the next few weeks. I'll still be on, but you won't see me quite as often, probably once a week. And just before I forget, I'll remind you again at the end, but because it's the Monaco Grand Prix this weekend, Formula One, we're going to be reviewing this one at the weekend, something for you to look forward to. So we'll have a video out on Saturday evening, that's going to be. So, and that's been, I should explain, that has actually been very generously donated by Cyber Leader Andy. Is he on tonight? I haven't seen him. Possibly he isn't on tonight, maybe he's away. But he donated this, and I said I'll do you a nice review on it as well. So yeah, he's actually given me that, which is a very nice gift indeed, and it's a kit I've never had before. So that'll be something to look forward to. We've also got a nice kit, one of Stuart's. We've got a very unusual and interesting Tiger tank another Tiger, but a different one. So that's coming probably next week. So there we are. That's what you've got lined up in the next couple of weeks. There's also ICM have got the 217 Dornier is coming out. That's due out in a week or 10 days. They've already put their video out tonight, I've noticed. The build video where it shows it going together like in sort of a CAD animation. So that's coming through very, very soon indeed. So keep your eyes open for that. It looks really nice. It's got a lot of glass house though. I think you're going to need a mask. It's going to be one of those. So where are we at time-wise? It's now 8:05. I'm going to give it 5 more minutes just to make sure I've got as many people in as possible, really. And then we shall begin the bidding. Now, on that subject, let me just give you a few pointers. Last time I put this thing up that said, don't get too carried away. We don't want you to overbid. But we do really, don't we? Yes, we do want you to overbid. But remember, postal charges. Postal charges are not included in whatever the price is. This one is big. It's not particularly heavy, but the box it will go in, it'll be about £12 to £14. I think I said £14. It's in the £12 to £14 bracket. If it's any less than that, we're happy to refund it if we charge you more than we need to, or we'll put it back in the fund or whatever. But it's kind of, because we want to make sure it's packed properly. It's a big old monster, Got a big write-up on the side. Let me give you a bit of the write-up. So it says the box contains a kit. How many parts has it got? 604 parts. Yeah, and the big parts as well. I mean, the rotor blades are huge. If you want to see the bit late showing you this now, but of course we did have I did a review on this one. So ICM 5. Yes. So yeah, I've gone the wrong video. Let's try and get the right one. So yeah, there was a full review done not that long ago at all, and we talked about the very interesting decals, which has got these rather strange markings on it, to a British eye anyway, that said on the bomb, it said Excedrin headache, and I didn't know that Excedrin was a very popular headache painkiller brand in the late 60s, early 70s in America. So what they actually did, there's a fact I didn't know. Well, it says something like Excedrin headache 10,001. Now it's a £10,000 bomb. So what that actually means is it's bomb number 1. If it says 10,002, it's bomb number 2. So yeah, it's quite an interesting way they went about it, really. But you get the feeling here how big it all is. There's the actual the review I did. So let's get loads of reflections. 2 boxes. So it's when you lift the top off, you've got 2 boxes underneath, and they're both absolutely packed, stuffed full of plastic. There's a whole lot of stuff to go at here. Very beautifully packed. And I'll just flip forward and just show you this these decals before we get rolling with the auction. Because yeah, here we go. Right, so these are these decals I've just mentioned. So you can see it's got some beautiful, fairly analog instruments. And there's your Excedrin headache markings for your bomb. Big mud. There's some quite amusing stuff in here. And it's got markings for the rotors and the rest of it. So, all in all, quite a nice package, to be honest. So bear with me 1 second. I'll just put rid of that one. Just go back to the live auction. There we go. Oh, and Daniel's just joined us. Hello, Daniel. And Midnight Scale Modelling. Hello to you. Hello to you. Is anybody else I've missed? I've been chatting away here. No, so that takes up 41 of you watching. That's not bad. So I think we'll shortly start the bidding, 2 or 3 minutes, and we'll get going. See what we can come up with. Now it's I'd say it's £140 kit, and we're starting at 80 because we have a bid already from Colin, the Pneumo. Big fan of early post-war jet, and during the Second World War, jet engines. And very, very kind of him to make that offer. So I've got my gavel here, my little rook, my chess piece there that my father made for me. He's here in spirit again. I'm going to be using that as a gavel, and we'll see how we go. So, is there anything else I need to tell you? Let's have a quick look on the side. I'll just read you what it says on the outside. It says the CH-54 heavy helicopter, well, that's putting it mildly, was successfully used by the US Army in Vietnam during the Vietnam War. Carried a variety of weapons, ammunition vehicles, including excavators, bulldozers, trucks, and boats. They used to carry these PBYs, didn't they? In addition to carrying combat equipment, it was also used to carry the M121 super heavy bomb. Such bombs were dropped in order to quickly clear forests and create helipads for a landing zone. This allowed a shorter landing time and more flexible response in a tactical situation. So especially when they wanted to rescue guys that were trapped or whatever. The M121 was partially upgraded. The rear hull and tail stabilizers were removed from the tall boy, the British bomb. And in its place, a parachute was added to slow its fall so the helicopter can get the hell out of there, get out of Dodge quick. Incredible. It says it was also equipped with an elongated nose on the bomb that's the proboscis thing, to detonate it and provide a blast about 3 feet off the ground. These upgraded bombs were used until they were out of stock. The last being used on the 8th of August 1970. So I guess they started using them in the mid-late 60s then. So they must have had them for 2 or 3 years at least. What a fantastic kit there. So that's what we're going to be bidding on, folks. Just about to start bidding in just a moment or two. That's what you're going to be looking at. It's an absolute beauty. One of ICM's certainly biggest and certainly one of their finest as well. So, just see who's there. We see my stalling is working because James Mayer has joined us. And poor James was one of the people that couldn't bid on one of the items because he was away at the time and had a few connection problems. And when he was about to put a bid in and he didn't have any internet, I think he was in the middle of a thunderstorm. Jex has joined us. Jex Blex, hi to you. Yeah, Alex is just saying daisy cutters. Yeah. Keith Corter just joined us. Yep, just saying about his Yamato kit from Verifier. Okay. So I think I'm going to give it literally till 8:15. 8:15, we actually start the auction, which isn't going to last that long, 5 to 10 minutes at the absolute most, I would think. So have a think about it. You've got here over 600 parts. You've got something that would look absolutely amazing as a sort of display piece or, to do with the diorama. Remember that ICM do a complete set of pilots. They do ground maintenance and figures. There was a third thing, wasn't it? What was the other thing? I'm sure they did 2 or 3 sets, and they all complement this perfectly, So you had the helicopter pilots had these like Stetson hats, a bit like, was it Colonel Kilgore in Apocalypse Now? Yeah, Robert Duvall. I love the smell of napalm in the morning. Smells like victory. Yeah, that's the guy, isn't it? And they've got the same, they've got the cross cutlasses on the hat, so you can get that as a separate set. So bear that in mind. If you'd like to do yourself a really nice Vietnam diorama, that's the kit for you, I reckon. So, what we got? Somebody on the forum is doing a Tarhe in flight for the jungle sick. Oh, gosh. Well, that sounds like a huge amount of work. Gosh, imagine doing that with the jungle as well. Crumbs. I bet it'll be good. Right then, folks. So I think we're gonna think about starting. So get yourself a drink. I'll just run through if there's any rules and regs and other things I need to tell you. Just reminding you, international shipping on this item will be ruinous. This is what poor Aubrey was saying earlier, isn't it? Because he was saying he quite liked this kit to have it. And I think getting that to you. Oh, they're going to charge us probably 35, 40 quid for that, I think. It's half the value of the kit, if not more. Based on my own local postal services, I'm not sure I trust them. I can barely trust them to get it to Manchester, to be honest. So just be aware, we have to pass on any postal charges, but if that's too heavy for you, which I can understand, as many of you have already done. And I've mentioned, if you look at the listing of the video, I've listed everybody who won, the winning bidders from the auction, and all of you who've made a donation, including the one this afternoon, are all included in that list. It's not too late. I will be transferring the money by the end of this week to the two charities by Friday latest, I think. Close the business on Friday. That's the aim. Once I've established them, make sure we got all their account details correct and everything. So that is going to be the end of it. So you've still got, say, a good 48 hours to, if you want to put in any old donation. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be anything silly. £2, £5, £10 or equivalent, whatever. It's all very welcome. Now, if you want to do that, remember to email me. I mentioned it in the description. So email me at mrmatchboxes@gmail.com, and I'll give you the actual PayPal link you need, because that's not the PayPal address. Okay, so you will need to email me, and I won't hang about. I'll fire back really quickly for you, and we'll see if we can get this to sort of 2,200, 2,250. Is that being cheeky? But wouldn't it be nice if we could get to that figure or beyond today? That would be absolutely brilliant. So I'm going to call it as the beginning of the auction then. So I'm just going to get onto my right screen, if you just bear with me. Back into the right. So as mentioned at the bottom, as you see it scrolling across, we're about to start the auction. So if you can just quieten down on the chatter, because it becomes very difficult for me to see what the bids are when you're chatting and having a discussion. By all means, it won't be very long. I say 10, 15 minutes max, I think. And once that's done, fill your boots. Just enjoy going back to chatting as before. Yes, it is. Stuart Carey's just asking, is it Jeremy Brett and Sherlock Holmes? Yes, it's Jeremy Brett, definitely. He's my favourite Sherlock Holmes. And my favourite Dr. Watson was Edward Hardwick as well. Yeah, I wasn't very keen on the other one. I forgot his name. He was actually in the first series, wasn't he? But yeah. Oh, Bank Modeller's on. That's Gary. Hello, Gary. Yeah, he was amazing. Brett was. Once you've seen Brett and you watched all those stories, anybody else trying to do Sherlock Holmes just looks like the school play. To be honest, it just isn't up to the mark, is it really? Right. Anyway, so I'm going to say, okay, if we can stop the chat now, I'll just give you a second or two for the delay to kick in. Grab yourself a drink, and we'll get bidding. Who will bid me £200,000? I was watching this classic car auction at the weekend, another one that was a bit strange and wasn't terribly well done and wasn't very successful, if I'm quite honest, relatively speaking. It doesn't help that they were saying some of the cars were presented an excellent, finest order presentation, and they got rips in the seats and things like that. Nothing like that with this. All mint. Yeah, you can see by the gloss on it. There we go. So you ready? Should I put it over here so it's just in the shot? I haven't got anything to sort of put it on, unfortunately. It's not. I'll leave it over here. We'll just have it there so it's not too far away. We're going to start the bidding. So no more Sherlock Holmes talk now. Later, by all means. Right, so going to start the bidding. We have an opening bid of £80, £140 in the shops. Now, you might be able to buy this, I don't know, 100, 120, 125 in the shops. But if you buy it in the shops, you won't be helping these people in Ukraine that we're trying to help. So please bear that in mind. As I said last time, think of it as a donation to Ukraine with the mother of all choppers thrown in as a kit, yeah? A really fantastic kit. So I'm going to open with £80, opening bid. In fact, I'm going to make a comment to that effect here so that you know. Opening bid is £80. And who will bid me? Who'll bid me up on 85? Stuart Carrier, go to 100. Thank you very much, Stuart. That's fantastic. So what I'll do, just so we have this for clarity, I'll keep putting in what the current bid is. So the current bid is 100 from Stuart. Thank you very much. That's really good of you. You won't regret it. That's an absolutely fantastic offer. Now remember, this is a big beastie. Just make sure you've got room for it. Yeah, my cabinet at home is actually a very small one, so I couldn't really find the space for it, but that's because I've got a lot of other big stuff in. Mac Modeler Gary 110. Oh, so sorry, Alex is asking a question, which I'll let him do because it's a fair question. So it's 35th scale, Alex. So it's big. This thing is huge. In fact, I will just interrupt myself and give you the actual dimensions. 774 millimeters in length. That's more than 3/4 of a meter. Height is 225 millimeters. It doesn't say width, but it's about, yeah, it'll be about half a meter thereabouts. So it's, it's a big beastie. So I'll just show you there. It's 35th. I know Stuart's just made another bid. 35th scale. £120 from Stuart. £120. Thank you very much, Stuart. Appreciate that. Yeah, that's a good offer. I say it was £150 when it first arrived on the market, summer autumn of last year. So anything, £150 would, given that we're trying to raise the funds for the charities, it wouldn't be too much, really. I mean that offer from Stuart is now pushing us already. We're almost at 2250 in terms of the overall funds, and that's incredible. So we're at 120. Any advance on 120? Everybody's getting the tape measured out and thinking, can I fit it in here, or will the cabinet take it, or have I got a cabinet, a case big enough? There is that company I mentioned. I've got the name off the top of my head, but there is a company which I did a mention of in one of my reviews that I saw at Telford, and they will do you bespoke cases. So it doesn't have to be a deal breaker if you haven't got anywhere to put it, as long as you've got a physical space. So we're up to 120 from Stuart Carrier. Stuart Carrier is leading the bidding at 120. I'm just going to have a sip of my beer. Any more offers? Come on, 600 parts. You've got a bomb that will just be a talking point in your house if you've got this on display. That's for sure. Alex, can I just ask you not to keep chatting while we're doing the bidding, because it makes it hard to follow, that's all. Please, it's fine. You can carry on afterwards once we finish. It won't be long. 100. Anybody give me 125? Any advance on 120? £120. So £120, and you've got your postage on top. So worst case scenario, it's 134. Between 132, 134 thereabouts, I'm pretty sure. Any advance on 120 then? 125 from Gary in Manchester. Thanks, Gary. Thank you very much. Yeah. It's not too far away from my postman to manage. Not sure. Where are you, Stuart? I shouldn't say this in the middle of the bidding. Stuart's come back. Now we have bidding war. This is what we want. Think of those, genuinely, seriously, think about these kids that have been affected by this. A lot of children affected by the problems over there in this war, and those animals. There was a zoo got hit about 2 or 3 months ago, and they had to rescue all the animals from the zoo. There was bears had to be rescued, wallabies, and I think some apes. Not quite sure what type they were. But this Four Paws, the animal charity, they had to rescue quite a few. Oh, Stuart's very local. Okay. Oh, that's even better then. You'll be safe. You guys, Manchester or Staffordshire. It's not too far from me at all. But yeah, that's every penny spent, every pound you spend here, it is going to a good home. And the organisers of the two charities have promised me they're going to give me some sort of a letter, so you'll see the final response from them. So that'll be really good. Okay, 130. Oh, is Gary itching to? Is he thinking? Is he going to stretch any further? Come on. I haven't got any more Vietnam paint sets. I'll throw you a paint set in to just to boost it up a bit more, but I've run out of them all, given them all away, or had them in the auction already. £130 though. still not quite to the retail price. I was hoping to get to the retail price, really, and generating the funds for the best possible cause, really. Any advance? Where are we now? So we've only been going for 9 minutes. It feels like longer, doesn't it? My wife says I do that. Any advance on 130 then? Any advance on 130? There's the 3 or 4 of you that are not here tonight. I've noticed some of the regulars. I think it's because it's kind of holiday time, isn't it? We've got the bank holiday weekend coming up. I think 1 or 2 people have gone away. Any advance on 130, which is a good price. So that's going to be 142 stroke 142 to 144 total. Just wanted to get it to 140. If I get to 140, I'm very happy. So that will give us Stuart's. Well, yeah, Stuart's generous offer there is actually put us to 2254, almost 2250. Sorry, almost 2255 as the actual total fund. So that's amazing, really. That's amazing. Well, I'm going to give it another minute, I think, and then I'm going to be saying this is your last chance to help, last chance to bid. So let's go back to just 1 or 2 of the messages. Don't forget, last chance to support us. Well, you can make a little donation, of course, if you want to as well. Never too late for that. And I think we are going to draw I have to go back to the comment. We're going to draw it to a conclusion. I'm going to say I am going to sell the kit to Stuart Carrier, £130. I'm going to give you a bit of a... Oh, Gary's come back at 135. Oh, come on now. We're so close to the dream number, aren't we? 140. That's brilliant. Thanks a lot, Gary. That's a lot. So I've got to give Stuart a little bit of time to think about that, because I'm playing for time. I am. I'm playing for time. Come on, Stuart. Do you want to just go to 140? Both very generous offers. You won't regret it. It's a fantastic kit. It's actually mind-blowing as well, because it's got so much internal detail. It's the only criticism I made when I did the review, of course, was the fact that you had all these like gearboxes and the turbine engines and things, and it was just, oh, Stuart, 136 was getting tight now. It's getting very tight. Yeah, the only criticism was I just said that it would be nice if they gave a detailed description like Tamiya do and said, this is the gearbox, or this is the drive system, or this is the collective and all this kind of stuff. I'm no expert on choppers, but it just didn't give you the detail. But the actual instructions of how to assemble it, they were clear enough. It was clear as crystal. Nice kit, very nice. So 136. This is getting really tight now. I'm squeezing it and trying to get the pips out of this now. Any advance on 136? Any advance on 136? I think Stuart wants this, doesn't he? Yeah, and I don't blame him. Right then, I'm gonna raise my gavel and give you fair warning. We're about a minute to go here. Okay, there's no further offers. I'm going to sell the kit to Stuart at 136 plus postage. Can Gary stretch any further? He's probably just checking his bank account online as we speak, just to see if he's got the funds. That's what I'll be doing anyway. Any advance on 136 then? Fair warning. So first call. I'm going to sell the kit to Stuart Carrier at 136. Any advance on that? No? Okay. Going once. Going twice. Sold. Stuart Carrier, 136. Well done, Stuart. Thanks very much. And thanks to Gary as well for underbidding, but that was that was good fun, actually. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. So what does that give us then? That actually is almost a magic number. So Yeah, Stuarts 136 does take us to 2255 and 68p. I think we've got with the postage. And that's really, really good. So thanks a lot, Stuart. Appreciate that. Thank you, Gary. Yeah, and we'll, as you may know, we are almost legendary now for our high quality postage. You know, the postal packing, no food for a week, he says. You'll be so taken in and enthralled and involved with making that kit, you'll forget everything like food, you know. But we'll pack it up beautifully as we always do. Probably better than most model shops, in fact. No, it is. So we'll get that all sorted for you. Lovely, lovely item. So thank you all for taking part in that. Thank you for the for the underbids, but you can now talk and chat to your heart's content, and we'll just carry on having a bit of a chit chat if you like. So we'll be getting that off in the mail because we're actually off this week anyway. So we'll get that off in the mail, probably be leaving us probably Wednesday, I think. Certainly should be with you, Stuart, by the weekend. For the bank holiday weekend, we'll aim to do that. And as I say, I think it'll be £12 to £14, depending on. We'll try and get it in because I've used up quite a lot of the big boxes. I'm not sure which box will fit it, but we'll make one if we have to. It's not a problem. It will be done nicely. You're going to need a bigger house. That's true. You can knock all the kit. It's very true. Well, I enjoyed that. And we pretty much got there, you know, including postage. It's over the 140 barrier. So, yes, we've done well there. Thank you very much to all of you then. So, I say we end up with 2250 and 68p, which is just mind-blowing, really. Biggest kit in my stash, it certainly will be. I mean, 3/4 of a metre in length. I think that's bigger than the box, isn't it? I think it will be when it's all... Yeah, the box is only about 600 millimetres, I think. It's quite a monster, you know. I mean, the fact that I can barely get it in the shot, I'm going to move it out. I'm going to put it safely out of harm's way. Well, out of the cat's way is what I mean. There we go. She's fast asleep. She doesn't seem to be bothering. But yeah, that's brilliant. So Stuart, then all you need to do is just email me. You can either give us your email now, but maybe best to just email me, mrmatchboxes@gmail.com, and I'll give you the payment details, and I'll need your home address, of course. And we'll go from there. So that is a great success all round. I don't feel quite as exhausted as I did last time after 3 hours of it, so I can relax again now. Anyway, as I say, we will be looking at this next week. We'll be looking at this very generously donated an amazing Formula One car, the six-wheeler Tyrrell from the 1970s, 76, 77, which is to tie in with the Monaco Grand Prix. Everybody's congratulating Stuart. Yeah, he did well. He wanted it. Like I said, he really wanted it. It's always nice when you see the person that's got the most desire gets the kit, really. Yeah. It's a good cause, and I do make bigger kits. Well, that's certainly going to be in that category, isn't it? I mean, I did reviews on the figures you can get, and they are very, very good, you know, because you could even see the cutlasses on the hat were molded into the hats for the pilots. It was incredible. I can PayPal you directly, Peter, if you want. Yeah, you can't PayPal me on that one, though. You'll need to email me, and I'll just fire you. Just send me a quick email saying what's the PayPal address, and I'll fire it straight back to you. No problem at all. And that will be that. And then I'll just add that money. One thing we must add, we've had a bit of problem with PayPal. I think some of you are already aware of this, where they were taking 5% of the donations, which I got very annoyed about. Luckily, I managed to stop them doing it on any of the bigger ones, more expensive kits. But you need to actually put that it's friends and family when you make the payment, friends and family or gift. Because if you don't, they just assume it's a purchase, and they will just take 5% straight out of the fund, you know, and we don't want them to do that. So, yeah, it's slightly annoying that they just... I got 2 or 3. Luckily, it was only the small ones, but they were just, without warning, just taking it off as a fee, like you were... And people were putting as well. You guys were writing things like, Ukraine charity auction or disaster relief Ukraine auction. I think we're just blindly taking this money out. And I was thinking, you absolute swines. I mean, they got completely shameless, really, you know. So I'm going to write it for Stuart's benefit. I'm just going to write here. So just to remind you, so there's no confusion. Here's my email address. And you need to just email me on this. Make sure I get it right. There we go. So that's my email address. If you just email me on that, Stuart, and I'll fire one back and tell you the actual payment details. And there we have it. So I'm delighted I was able to, with your help and generosity, turn that into a sort of finishing the job, because I say I wasn't open that box and there it wasn't. Oh, you absolute idiot. It was actually one of the first ones I put aside to go in the auction. And because it was just out of sight, it was kind of hiding in plain sight, but it wasn't actually in plain sight, because I just put it with a load of other empty boxes, thinking, oh, it's safe there and it's nice and dry and it'd be completely stay fresh, you know, which it did, but it wasn't visible. So when I came to corral all the other kits together, it just got missed completely. So I'm glad we've been able to make a success of it. I'm just going to look if Stuart fires through to me as we are speaking. If you fire me an email on that email address there I've just put up, I can shoot one back straight to you. It's no problem. And that will be the conclusion. So we'll end up with, as I say, there'll be a final model of saying a ceiling fan, and it is with the blades on it. It's about this big. It's massive. She's a beast. Yeah, just get some of the chat comments. But yeah, it's there's just going to be one more mention of this, really. I'll do the final wind-up show. I'll show you the money has been transferred, and you can see the response from the charity, and hopefully they might tell us a bit more about what they're doing as well, which might be quite interesting, I think. So that's where we're at with that, really. So where have we got to now? So we're at it's 25 to 9. I think we're going to draw it to a conclusion and thank everybody for your involvement, for the chat, and the enthusiasm, obviously. I'm just sorry, I'm just looking at just checking my emails, that's all. Yeah, and thanks to Stuart, obviously, for his bid. Just going to pay me now. And then we'll get that added in. And I'll add your name to the list, of course. As the U-boat commander in Dad's army famously said, your name will be going on the list as well. Yes. All the people that have contributed, of course. Yeah, it's going to be quite something, I think, to see that money go through there. And Stuart has just actually emailed me as we speak. I'm just going, there you go. Right, I'll just respond to you now, Stuart. Just bear with me, everybody. I'll be a second. So what's that going to be? We said 12. We'll go in the middle. We'll call it £13 for the post and packing. I said 12 to 14. We'll call it 13. So that's going to be 136. That's 149, isn't it? Right. I'm right. 136 and 13. 149. £149. Right. So very important. I'm sending you the details, Stuart, of how to pay. Make sure, I'll just actually add this line, make sure to say friends and family or gift. So they don't help themselves to our funds. And I mean, I was a bit annoyed about that because it's like stealing from, Ukrainian children that have been bombed out of their houses and stuff. It's a bit lacking in good taste, I thought. I don't know what they were paying at PayPal, but you've got to be very careful, haven't you? You'd think they'd get a clue from the name, people saying it's a Ukrainian relief charity, fundraiser. Oh, no, we'll just take our money off you anyway. Right. Right, sent to you, Stuart. There you go. Fantastic. Well, that is a brilliant result. Better than any of us could have ever hoped for. Thanks again to Jason, who helped me last time. Feeling it a bit, It's quite helpful when you've got somebody else, because one can be doing all this stuff and one can be talking. So it's probably makes for better television when there's more than one of you, to be honest. And congratulations to Stuart. Congratulations to every one of you who've made such a generous donation. Even some of my neighbours have got involved and made donations as well. So it's been really nice, and let's hope we can, see them put that all those funds to good use. And that's it from me, really. So I'll be back, as I say. I think I'll be back on Saturday. I'm going to have a few days off. I'm going to be back on Saturday, Monaco Grand Prix this weekend. So absolutely appropriate that we have a fantastic 6-wheeler Tyrrell racing car coming up. Can't miss it. So that's coming up this weekend. Quite an unusual machine, obviously. Thanks to all of you who joined in the chat. I hope you found it interesting, and it was quite, amusing to see how the bidding goes. It went pretty much where I hoped it would go. So yeah, pretty happy with that. I've got to say, it's a total result for everybody. That it's a win-win. You get a fantastic kit, you get it beautifully packaged, and your money is well spent. Fantastic cause, and we will see. We'll see what the charities come back with when I hand over the dosh. Anyway, thanks a lot. So thanks a lot to all of you. Genuinely, very, very humbled by your support. Quite a nice little community we brought together for all the right reasons. So I just raise a glass to you all and say with my Airfix glass. There we go. Airfix have gotten in on the act as well. How did they get in? Nice glass, though, Cheers to all of you. And with that, I wish you a very good night. Hope you have a good week and enjoy Bank Holiday weekend. But don't forget to watch the Formula One review that I'm going to do Saturday evening, probably 8 o'clock. And I look forward to seeing you then. So, in the meantime, stay well, stay safe, look after yourselves. Thanks for all your support. Thanks a lot, and bye for now.